Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. It's a bit stiff this morning. Hello, good morning, whoever has decided to join me. This is just, hopefully you can hear me today. I can only apologise that yesterday, for some reason, the sound wasn't working on my laptop. Maybe I was covering the speaker thinking about it. Let me just put my laptop back up here. I was just thinking that then maybe it was because the speaker was being covered. So usually I wouldn't do a video on a Wednesday. I find that a lot of people tend to post on Wednesdays. So I was trying to do an alternative day and preferably an alternative time to see really what people wanted me to blog more about or what questions people wanted to ask me. And it looks like nobody is available to talk at the moment. It is quite early in the morning still. Hi, I don't know whether you've just come back or whether it's somebody new. So yes, I am available to chat if you want to talk to me about anything. Hopefully you can hear me okay. And it looks like I'm talking to myself. Right. Oh, I don't know what to say, to be honest. I don't want to do the whole "oh dear diary" thing or anything like that. But yeah, it's really weird when you do live chat because unless you've got somebody to actually speak to or listen to, you don't really know what to say. Whereas when I do my other videos, I wouldn't say they're like pre-rehearsed or pre-recorded. Everything I do is spontaneous. Nothing is staged. It is what it is. It is how I am. It's how I'm thinking and feeling in the moment. So I guess today I've been awake since 5. I'm not really looking forward to the rest of this week and being back in hospital. And I think, if anything, I guess I think the hardest thing to accept, I think, in life is, I know it sounds quite harsh to say this, is that you can only really depend on yourself. I mean, I'm back in hospital later on this week, and I don't have anyone to support me. Obviously, with my children, it's different. Their dad will take care of them, but obviously we don't live together, so he's not responsible for me. And I think that's what's really hard for people if they live on their own or if they're single or vulnerable or one thing and another, is not having that extra support when they actually need it. I mean, yes, I know there are supposed to be like services available to support people in their time of need, but usually these appointments, I like to say that they're pre-arranged, but with me that wasn't the case. It was, I went last week for what they called a pre-op, and then it was, hey, we can get you in next week, and I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. But okay, what are the pros and cons of me having this procedure? This, and it's, well, this is what we can do, this is how it works, this is what we're going to do to you, but if you don't have anyone to take care of you, you can't have anesthesia. So to have such an invasive procedure taking place over the next couple of days, and basically to be told by the hospital that in order for me to have this procedure with pain relief, I would need someone to basically babysit me for 24 hours afterwards. So again, when I'm talking about, people having to claim certain benefits, like personal independent payments, I know has been one of the things that a lot of people have been following me about and asking me about. Well, if I was working full time, like I used to, and I've had to do it in the past. I've had to say to my employer, look, I'm really sorry. I've got to go into hospital. I'm going to need at least 2 days off work. Is it possible for me to either take them as annual leave if I've got any holiday entitlements, or because it is a medical appointment, am I going to be entitled to sick pay? And obviously the answer is no. So by getting the option of people who have sorry ongoing health problems, what personal independent payments from the state enables you to do is to work, also attend medical appointments, but not lose any income. Because I've literally had it where I've been in hospital for a week and I've had my employer not ring me, I've had to ring them. And I've had to ring them every single day and say, hi, I'm still in hospital, I'm not going to be available for work. And then when I finally came out of hospital, I'm sure other people have had this happen to them as well, I then couldn't work for at least another week because of recovery time after having surgery. So again, they expected me to ring them every single day, even though they'd had a fit note from my GP. I wasn't available for work. And then when I finally was available for work, I rang them and I said, oh, I'm available for work. And then what they're supposed to do when you're available to go back to work is they're then supposed to have a meeting with you to basically check that you are fit for work. And the amount of times those meetings never took place. I would phone up my manager and say, I need to do a back to work scheme with you. What am I available to do? What can I do? What can't I do? Etc. I've just had surgery. And I'd ring them and then get them on the phone after being put on hold for half an hour, which I'm sure has happened to other people. And then they'd go, oh, we don't need you. We'll ring, just ring back tomorrow and we'll let you know whether you've got any shifts. And each employer I've had has done that to me. Every time I've had to go into hospital for any medical procedure or whatever, they have then deliberately withheld shifts from me for about a month after I've even told them I'm ready to come back or that I'm well enough to come back. And I would have then still obviously been under the Department of Work and Pensions. At the time, it would have been JSA, which is a Job Seekers Allowance. And to have to go in and be degraded so much by the state and them say, okay, so you're fit for work, but you've not gone back to work. Why not? And I'm having to say, because my employer basically is deliberately withholding wages and withholding hours from me. So I have a job, but I don't have any shifts. And I painstakingly, just like most people who are probably now on universal credit, did that for 20 years of my life. From the age of 16 to the age of 31, I was a slave to the employment industry and obviously to the government, to the Department of Work and Pensions. When I became 30, my health wasn't just my health I had to consider. It was the health of my unborn baby. And again, I tried to liaison with my employers to say, look, you know, I'm a high-risk pregnancy. I have to go to hospital every single Monday for tests to make sure that my baby is safe and well and happy, and, you know, that they're not going to be born with, you know, prematurely or with a health complication. And my employers deliberately said to me, well, if you can't work Mondays, you're fired. And I was like, what? You're joking, right? You're firing me because I've told you I can't work on a Monday because I have to go to hospital because I'm pregnant. And to then spend 2 years of my life with an unfair dismissal case, trying to prove that I was unfairly dismissed, but I couldn't use the fact that they had dismissed me because I was pregnant. I had to use the other reason, which was they lied about giving me shifts that I never attended. And I would never wish that on anyone, to go through that. It was absolutely disgusting. I don't care whether you're a woman or whether you're a man. Even men are treated so disgustingly. They only now get what is called paternity leave. I mean, why weren't men granted paternity leave years ago? Why have men had to fight in order to be allowed time off after their partner has had a child, when everybody knows that having a newborn baby in the house doesn't just affect the mother, it affects the father or the father figure or whoever they live with? I mean, I used to ride the bus to Birmingham every day with this gentleman. It was lovely. And his wife had just had a baby. And I used to say to him, how's your wife? How's the baby? And he used to be like, shh, don't talk to me. And I was like, why? And he would actually deliberately ride the bus to work so that he could get an hour's sleep. So he used to sit like at the back of the bus and just sleep for the entire hour of the journey because he was tired. And I used to say to him, good on you. You know, at least you're not getting in the car with severe sleep deprivation and, you know, getting into an accident. So, yeah. So to be told that, you know, when I have my, I'm not having surgery, I'm just having a quite evasive procedure over the next couple of days, that I can't have anesthesia because I don't have anyone to take care of me. It's like, for crying out loud, you know, every time I've gone to the hospital, I've never had anyone to take care of me. I've been so drugged up by A&E that, you know, they've let me go home. And I even said that to the nurse. I said, look, you're talking to somebody here. I'm 40 years old. You know, you've seen my medical file. You know that if you give me anesthesia, I'm going to be fine. I can go home. I can take care of myself. I won't do anything stupid. And she's like, no, it's hospital procedure. And I'm like, oh, is it hospital procedure to drug somebody up with morphine and bruscopan to the point where they are acting and sounding like they are intoxicated and then letting them leave A&E unsupervised? Is it hospital procedure to allow a woman with a newborn baby to leave the hospital in a snowstorm to tell you that, oh, it's okay, it's like 4 a.m. in the 2 a.m. Sorry, it was 2 a.m. in the morning. I was in Coventry, and my son got discharged from the hospital, and they said, how are you getting home? And I said, well, I live in Nuneaton. And they were like, are you getting a taxi? And I was like, yeah, I've got like £45 to spend on a taxi at 2 a.m. in the morning. No, I'm going to get the bus. And they just let me leave. And I just find it shocking that, you know, I've had situations in the past where if I worked at a hospital, I would be very apprehensive to let somebody just walk out the door. I mean, I remember literally walking with my newborn baby zipped up in my coat, He was really heavy though to carry. He's quite a chunky monkey now. I couldn't carry him now if I tried. And I walked from Coventry, Warwickshire University Hospital to Coventry Canal Basin at 2 a.m. in the morning with a child in the snow. Okay. And I just remember getting to the canal basin, and it's like one of those weird things. It's very surreal. And it's really dark still, and you're kind of waiting for the light to sort of crack and for the sun to start to rise. And there was the boat in the distance. And I just remember banging on the hull frantically. And the dad woke up like, where am I? Who are you? What are you doing at like, I think it was about like 4 o'clock by this point. You know, banging on the hull. Why aren't you in Nuneaton? And I was like, I've just had to come to the hospital. Why didn't you ring me? And I was like, because I did, and you were asleep. So I just think it's insane that for a procedure I've already had before, even though this one is going to be a little bit of a longer procedure, they're saying no anesthesia. And it's just kind of like, why? You know, because for people who live on their own, who have no support network, would you say the same thing to every single patient that is going to have that procedure? I mean, this is where I think society is letting people down. I mean, there are support services out there, but again, ever since COVID happened, the rules are that you can't even have somebody with you whilst you're in hospital. They don't want visitors in the waiting rooms. They don't want people waiting for you. I remember going in to see my sister, and her procedure had to be through anaesthetic. There was no way she could do that procedure without it. And but they didn't want to do it because she suffers with severe epilepsy. And again, they kept her in for 24 hours after the procedure because she had a seizure. And I said to them, I don't have epilepsy. I don't have epilepsy. I don't have diabetes. I don't have a heart condition. I don't have high cholesterol. I don't have high blood pressure. I have nothing wrong with me unless you tell me after this procedure that, oh, you've got cancer, or, you know, there's something else wrong with me, which I hope they don't. But to be told that I cannot have anesthesia, I'm kind of really, really annoyed about that. And basically, the procedure I'm having is a colonoscopy. Yeah. So you can imagine why somebody would want anesthesia if they're going to have a colonoscopy. I mean, to be told, I don't care how big the camera is, all right, you're trying to stick something inside my body where things aren't supposed to go. Yes. Fantastic. So yeah, I'm not too happy about that one. But yeah, anyway, is there anything else you want me to talk about? I mean, I know I've got like one person watching me right now, probably thinking I'm absolutely insane, and not saying anything. Hello? No. Okay. Right, I think I'm going to leave it there, because one of the issues I've been having with live streaming is I don't actually know how to remove live streaming from my YouTube channel. So I would like to ideally remove the video from yesterday, as obviously you can't hear a single word that I'm saying, which is really annoying. And I'll probably reflect on this one and think, oh my gosh, maybe there was things I just sort of blurted out that I shouldn't have said. But Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that we still have the NHS, and I don't personally think it should be privatised. But I just think, it's such a shame that there are people out there who don't have a support network, who are in need of medical assistance, and are now in a situation like myself where, you have two choices. You either grit your teeth and have the procedure, or don't have the procedure, and then you find out 6 months down the line that if you'd had that procedure, that maybe you wouldn't be sick, or you wouldn't have, ended up dying of something that could have been prevented. So yeah, I mean, I am aiming to do videos on a Tuesday, sort of like a tea and chat type thing. But apart from that, I don't really know what else to say, apart from have a nice day. Thank you for viewing, whoever you are. And enjoy the rest of your day.